Welcome to the next episode of Marriage, Mess, and Margaritas. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Jessica.
And I'm Alicia. And yes, we're actually drinking margaritas while recording this. Because how else would you talk about life, marriage, and chaos?
This podcast is our happy hour therapy. Just 3 women, 3 different stories, and a whole lot of real talk. No filters, no perfect Pinterest mom energy, just the mess.
We're all married, most days happily. And between the laundry piles, carpool lines, and late night what even is life convos, we realized we can't be the only ones needing a space like this.
So welcome. Whether you're married, single, mom and heart, or just here for the margs, we're glad you're listening.
Each week, we'll pour a drink and dive into real conversations. Relationships, mental health, mom fails, friendship, body image, intimacy, you name it.
And don't worry, there'll be plenty of laughs, oversharing, and probably a few spicy takes.
We'll also share listener stories, answer your questions, and maybe cry into our drinks once or twice. But it's all love here.
So grab a margarita, settle in, and let's kick off this beautifully messy ride together.
Welcome to Marriage, Mess, and Margaritas.
Let the chaos begin.
Welcome back to Marriage, Mess, and Margaritas. We're so glad you're here with us again. Last week, we unpacked the trust factor. Definitely one of our most vulnerable episodes so far. And tonight, we're switching it up with something a little sweeter. Our drink of the week is a mango margarita. Bright, bold, and just a little unpredictable. Kind of like marriage when life throws changes your way. Speaking of unpredictable, today we're diving into marriage in transition. Those seasons where everything feels like it's shifting under your feet. New jobs, moving, babies, empty nests, health scares, they all come with their own brand of chaos.
So when we say marriage in transition, what do we really mean? Basically, it's those seasons where life as you know it changes. And let's be honest, sometimes it feels like you're barely hanging on together. Things like new jobs, moving, having kids, or sending kids off. Financial changes, health changes, all those things can be scary. Not just for you personally, but for your marriage and the changes that it can all bring.
Okay, so let's get real here. We've all been through different kinds of transitions in our marriages, so let's talk about them. Because if you ever thought, is this just me? Trust me, it's not.
So for us, one of the biggest transitions, I would say, well, I don't know. I feel like life has always thrown transitions. I think that's just part of marriage, like having a new baby and trying to juggle that.
So I guess biggest transition or hardest transition for us was we've all had different jobs. The 3 of us have all gone through different jobs together. So yeah, you've always had those natural changes of different jobs, new houses, kids, babies. I mean, I've known Jess when she had the baby. Mm-hmm. Alicia and I already had our kids, but I knew you before that. But I think my biggest one recently has been a health scare that we shared together, which you ladies know about. Just had my first mammogram this year, biopsy, ultrasound, had all the works done, and then they just did a partial mastectomy. So I think just going through all that and leaning on each other, and that's been a big change. And I think I thought I was going to be a lot stronger through it. But I think, like, physically seeing that change on you has been hard. But I didn't expect that. I thought, and I would not change anything. If I had to go back, I would, of course, remove anything to make my chances decrease for that scare later on. But seeing that change in a female body has been hard.
Yeah, I would think so. How has Nick handled it?
Oh, he's actually been really good about it. He's like, don't worry about it. He's very encouraging to me, and he's been great about it. I think I'm harder on myself about it than he is.
I think all women are harder on ourselves than what everyone else would see us.
And right, and that doesn't identify us. Yeah. And I know that, but it is, I think for me, it is a big part of being feminine.
Yeah, have that. I think you add everything you've been through on top of how women are already so hard on their bodies.
Comparing ourselves and the way we look and all that. So I think that has been hard. But no, Nick's been fantastic about it and been very encouraging. And I'm only a few days out post-op, so I've got to give myself time to heal too.
Do you feel like it's changed anything like in the house or even like how y'all look at each other or how you look at life in general? Like, I feel like that's a pretty big scare.
Yes, I think it's made us stronger. I think it's made me realize, we've had other scares, people that have passed away in my life and stuff. But, that cliche of, life is so short. Yes, I felt that. Like, life is so short, do everything you want to in that day, live your life, love your kids, love your husband as much as you can. Like, all of that I have felt.
Okay. I think that, so for us, we have had, anytime that you have kids and change jobs and like move, all that stuff causes opportunities for change and transitions. The most recent one that I can think of, it's nowhere near as big as yours, but I had accepted about a year ago, I accepted another position to do kind of on my off time from home, and then back in May, I transitioned to another role. So probably 2 or 3 weeks later, I think Taylor told y'all, he took like a kind of transition thing into a different role within his job. So that was probably 2 weeks after I took on this new role, and then you throw in summer and the kids are home. And for the last 5 years, he's worked from home pretty much every day. Most days, every now and then he'll go out and about, but like for the most time, he's home. And so this summer with him taking on that new role and then me trying to learn something new and then the kids being home, like I felt like that was a very big transition for us, trying to juggle everything that the kids needed on my own versus where he was always there to kind of help and support and back up for 5 years to where now it was nothing. And so we definitely butted heads a good bit, probably, 2 weeks in June of like, I would just more so ask like what his plans were for that day at work. And I think he took it more of like I was hovering and pestering versus to me it was more of like a mental preparation of like, okay, am I going to be juggling everything with the kids the next day? So it took a lot of communication and kind of talking through so that we could understand where each other was coming from, because he would get upset thinking that I expected him to be home every day and that he couldn't work, and then I'm over here just kind of blindsided of, you've been home for 5 years.
Yeah, it's changed.
So it took a lot of communication, and I think we're at a good place now, and especially now that the kids are back in school, like that's been a big reliever. But yeah, again, it was just the big communication and kind of talking through where we each were in our own headspace about it all.
So our biggest transition with marriage was actually getting married. I think I had a lot of unrealistic expectations of what I was supposed to do as a wife, what I was supposed to expect from a husband. And it caused a lot of conflict, especially the first year was the hardest for us. I think I've mentioned that before. But then finally I sat down and we talked about it, and I said, why don't we just do what we do, be us? And it really made things a whole lot simpler. And 20 years later, we're still being ourselves.
Yeah, I think communication definitely, that's like the biggest part of any kind of transition you go through, is just talking about it to each other and keeping those lines of communication open and then finding a way to talk to each other about it.
Yeah.
So whether it's something huge or something small, transitions can definitely shake things up in ways we don't expect. So we all know y'all have been through stuff too. So here's our question for you. What's been the hardest transition on your marriage? Send us a DM or drop it into our stories this week. We'd love to share a few of your stories in a future episode. While transitions can feel overwhelming, there are definitely ways to survive them and maybe even come out stronger. So here are a few things we've learned along the way. Keep talking, even when you don't want to.
Be flexible and give each other grace.
Hang on to your little rituals, like date night or Sunday morning coffee. And don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's from friends, family, or even counseling. Honestly, transitions can feel like storms, but storms don't last forever, and sometimes they even clear the way for something better.
All right, ladies, let's lighten this up before we wrap with a quick game of Would You Rather.
And you have to choose one, Jess.
Okay, I will. All right, I'm going to ask Alicia first. Would you rather move across the country for a dream job or stay put in a job you don't love?
Oh, I'm definitely moving. Goodbye, girls.
Jess?
I would move too. I think as hard as that would be, if I was going to be working somewhere that I truly loved and was passionate about, I think that would make it a little easier.
I think I'd have to agree. I think staying put at a job you don't love or don't feel valued is very hard.
Yeah.
So I think
that flows over into your marriage.
It
flows
does.
over into your
family, everything.
Yeah.
So I agree with that one. All right, Jess, you go first. Would you rather add another baby to your mix or send the kids to college tomorrow?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I would rather add another baby. I don't know though, but I've been struggling with baby fever, so thank God we can't have any more. But
Alicia?
I don't know. Up until last week, I definitely would have said add a baby. But we have a baby in the house, and I don't want another one. So I think I wish the kids well when they go to college.
Would you get sad having an empty house? I think that's what would scare me
100%.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Because with all the children that we've had, we always have a full house. And to imagine, a quiet house with just me and my husband makes things kind of weird.
I think I would have to say go to college too. I love the stage my kids are in right now, but I cannot imagine adding another baby now.
I definitely think if I had teenagers like you.
Yeah, mine are all teenagers.
I could not start over again.
No.
So yeah, I would choose college for sure in that aspect.
Right. And that's why I'm thinking that. I just don't think I would want to start over again, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think I'm happy with them all getting big, starting their life together. All right. Alicia, would you rather downsize to a tiny house or upgrade to a big fixer-upper?
That's a tough one. Big fixer-upper or tiny house. Let's see. That's
tiny
funny.
house that's all set, or a big house but a fixer-upper.
Well, I guess since the kids are all off away in college, I can move into the tiny house that's all fixed up and ready to go.
You would not want a house that you have to do stuff to. And that's okay.
No, not at all. I want it to come fully furnished, fully decorated, no problems, no repairs.
Would you be okay in a tiny house?
I think those are the cutest little things. Yeah, I would.
Okay, but now the kids are off at college and it's just you and Matt in tiny house.
Hopefully we have a big yard.
Close quarters.
I think I would choose the tiny house too. As much as I love watching HGTV, I like watching people fix things up. I think to have that vision and to be able to portray it, I think that's awesome. Personally, I just don't think we could do it. I would choose a tiny home any day.
I would choose a fixer-upper. For sure. I would choose, in maybe 5 years, you would ask me, I would say tiny home. All my kids are going to be gone in college. We don't need a big house. Tiny home, I'm fine. Right now, I would say you could move to the country and give us an old barn, and we could fix it all up and have a fixer-upper.
But I do think y'all have a lot more at your disposal as far as having people that can do the fixing.
Yes, my in-laws are very good with that stuff. Nick and I both love it. So for us, it would be fun. It would be an adventure. It is stressful, but it is an adventure. And then when you're done, we have finished our basement. So then when you go back and you look at it, you're like, oh, we did this.
It is nice to see the pictures.
There's a sense of pride and
Yeah.
But Nick and I have always talked about we would love to buy a house that we could fix up. Even a tiny home. We would love to buy a tiny home that we could fix up one day.
Do it. Y'all would be great at it.
I think we would love to.
I would need to hire somebody to do it for me.
Same.
All right. Jess, would you rather always be the one adapting to change or always be the one causing the change?
Oh.
Adapting or causing?
I think causing. Taylor's
That does not surprise me. I don't mean that in a bad way at all.
I can handle change for sure. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with change. But I think Taylor handles it better than I do. So I would rather cause it.
What about you?
I think that I am the facilitator of change in my household. So for a change, I would like to be the recipient.
You think you could handle it?
You could adapt to change.
Yeah, because I'm always about change. I like making changes. Why are you looking at me that way?
You like making changes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So as long as the change aligns with the change that I want, then we can definitely change.
So, yes, you are always one causing the change,
yes.
Or you're the one adapting to your husband changing on you.
As long as he changes the way I need him to change, I will.
So that's a negative. You are not adapting to change.
I think it is. He's changing in the way that I want him to change, and I am completely adapting to it. I welcome it.
I would do the adapting to change. I would not want to cause a change. I think I have always been the person of, as long as everybody else is okay, I'll be okay. So for me, it is much easier to adapt to a change than causing a change. To me is a lot of stress and a lot of pressure of, okay, I brought this change of schedule for a new job, or I brought this change of we're going to move here because of my job. That to me is a lot more stressful than just saying, all right, Daddy got a new job, this is his schedule, maybe he has to work nights, and I'm just going to adapt to it.
Yeah.
So you want to put the blame of change on someone else?
No, not that I want to put the blame of change on somebody else. I am very easy if it comes to change. I can adapt and I can manage. So I feel like that's me. Like I am very like, it's okay as long as, maybe it's a better job for Nick. Maybe it's a better opportunity for my kids. Even though I may not like where for example, if we were moving somewhere, even though I may not like it, I will adapt to it if it's for the better of my family.
Okay. You would never want to like change the rules though, like this one over here that thinks that she's going to try to change her rule.
No, but that is true. She will change, and everybody will adapt to her. And that works well for her family, and that's great. That's not anything bad. It works great for her family. They all adapt to her. And I think you're very similar.
Yeah.
I think everyone will adapt to you.
Okay.
That's why when you've talked about moving, I'm just like, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, because then that's me adapting.
Correct. And I just don't. Not because we're selfish and want you to stay, because yes, we do. But also, I just don't. I think that's going to be very hard on you emotionally because you're also leaving your family.
Yes, but according to my in-laws, y'all are moving down too.
Apparently.
And then next is going to be Alicia and Matt.
Yes.
Okay.
But you also leave friends. Like you've made some solid friends here with people in your neighborhood, with us. You've made relationships, both of you. And I just think it's going to be very hard to get up and move.
Yeah, I would agree. I do struggle with it, even though I try to be more accepting of it because I know that would make him happy.
Correct.
But
you don't want to do that, and yes, it'd be a bigger struggle later on. Yeah. Would you rather, this is a good one. I really would have to think about this. Would you rather relive your wedding day once a year or your honeymoon once every 5 years?
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
Really? I was going to say my wedding day.
Why?
First guess, I would have done my wedding day.
Why?
To me, I don't know. Honeymoon would be great too, but that's every 5 years. This is something you do every year.
Take me to St. Lucia every 5 years. All inclusive.
I would pick my wedding day. If I had to pick just real quick, it would have been my wedding day.
Okay, why?
Because I think it was just something that the two of you shared together.
You could renew your vows every 5 years on your honeymoon vacation.
That's right.
So, Nick and I went camping for our honeymoon.
Oh.
We were
so
two
cute.
young kids.
Alicia, that's
We had never lived together. We literally went tent camping.
Oh, okay, yeah, I might would choose my wedding
But
day.
we loved it. Like, honestly, neither one of us is like, I can't believe we did that. We loved it because we never lived together. So for us, it didn't matter at all where we went, as long as we were together.
I think that's very cute, being young
Yes,
and not
we were
having
very young.
experienced that. But now you're not young, and you've lived life.
And that's why I would pick my wedding day. Because I have
Yes.
in my life, and we're all able to travel. And so for me, if we wanted to travel somewhere, we could do it. Where that wedding day to me was so like special and magical, and I would want to relive that moment again.
Okay. What about you? You said your
You
honeymoon.
both said your honeymoon.
Well, I know
real
she
quick.
said honeymoon. I want to know why your honeymoon.
Where'd you go?
I don't think we went anywhere for our honeymoon. But it was just us. It was quiet. It was nice. On our wedding day, it was busy. It was hectic. We had to share it with other people.
What do you mean you had to share it with? Oh, like the day. With
Yeah,
other
the
people.
day.
Yes.
It wasn't. It was chaotic. It was. So I definitely would rather do the honeymoon.
Just the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you pick the honeymoon?
Oh, because I love St. Lucia. Send me on all inclusive every 5 years on a beach where it's just me and him, no internet. I think the only means of communication was a landline that we had to pay for. I think we called home twice. All the food, all the drinks. We had like a beach chair that sat up underneath like one of the big, I don't know, Caribbean type trees.
Yeah, I'm sure it was beautiful.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, send me on that every 5 years.
But not to relive like that magical moment of just
our
the two of
honeymoon
you
was
on your wedding
magical.
day. Well, of course, our honeymoon is. My honeymoon was magical outside.
With the bugs and the critters.
I would not, but you know what? Looking back now, I wouldn't change it. Like I would.
Oh
not
no, I
change...
think that's a sweet moment for y'all for sure.
Yes.
To remember.
It is. And some people are like, "You went tent camping for your honeymoon," but I'm like, it didn't matter. We could have been in our backyard, but for us, It was like, I just wanted to spend every moment with him because I never had that. So it didn't matter to me.
Yeah, that is sweet. But yeah, our honeymoon was still magical.
Yes.
And trust me, we can stir up those feelings every 5 years.
Exactly. Then you can go to St. Lucia for 5 years. All right. Would you rather argue over the thermostat forever or argue over what's for dinner forever?
Thermostat.
I was going to say thermostat too. Why? I think it's
I feel
easier.
like it is easier, and we argue over that now. He gets
The
hot
thermostat?
and I'm cold, and
I mean, we don't always agree on the thermostat, but he can, take off something or put something on.
See, I don't feel like we argue about the thermostat.
I know y'all keep your house hot as Hades.
Okay, well we're cold-natured people apparently. But dinner, I mean, I think we meal prep and we plan what the week's going to be. So for us, it wouldn't matter.
I think arguing over food would be harder for us.
Yes, because we eat 3 meals a day and we're always hungry. I won't want to argue about that.
Yeah, and I think if we did argue about it, then all I would want to eat is bread and chocolate because I'd be so depressed over arguing about what we're eating.
I think there's more emotions when it comes to cooking because you spent time doing it.
Yeah.
So then if he's like, no, I don't want to eat whatever, steak, then you're like, oh, I bought the steak. I thought of you when I bought the steak. What do you mean you don't want to eat the steak? Like there's more emotions into it.
Yeah.
Yes, versus being like, go
put a sweater on.
Yeah, or take your shirt off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather go back to the newborn stage or jump straight to having teenagers?
Oh, goodness.
Newborn stage for me.
I was going to say, mine are not teenagers yet.
So where they are now or go back?
Oh. Okay, so we're kind of in between. So I would probably go with where we're at now. So let's change the
question. Where your kids are at now or back to newborns?
Oh, definitely where they're at now. I'm not looking forward to teenage years.
I would pick newborn. Even though I'm the one that's ready for my kids to experience life and go to college, maybe that's why I would pick newborn. Just that, even if it was for a day. And I think me and Nick just talked about that recently. Just for one day to have our kids be babies again.
Well, yeah, but what if it's not for just a day?
We did have really good babies. They didn't cry. They slept fantastic. We had really good babies.
Well, lucky you.
So for us, I would have no problem going back for a day. If I could have all of them again, like 3, 1, and baby, I would love that.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
I know.
That is cute. I don't know 3 though. I could do 3. I don't know. My second one, she was rough. I mean, we woke up every 2 to 3 hours, all day, all night, till we were 8 months old. Like, that was rough.
Yeah.
And I love where they're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can
I love where my kids are now.
So what about you?
I love where they are right now. We get along, we can joke. They get my sarcasm most days, and
it's different.
Yeah, and newborns are great and everything, but to me they're a little boring. They just kind of lay there, cry, eat a little bit, sleep, and do it all over
and
again.
Poop. Poop a lot.
I guess sometimes I just look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, your kids are so big. I miss, not that I had baby fever, because I, feel very blessed having my 3 kids. I don't, me and Nick feel like our family's complete. We don't need another baby at this moment. But sometimes I wish we could just do it for one day.
I could do a day. I don't know if I would want to, relive the whole process. But to have it one day where they're snuggled up on me, skin to skin.
I would relive the whole process.
Oh, no. I could do a day.
relive the whole thing all over again.
I could do
all
a day.
the struggles, all those, sleepless nights, I would do it all over again.
Oh.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. I don't know if I could do that. I remember vividly telling Taylor with our last one, when I get baby fever again, remind me of this moment that I do not want another.
They're great. Kids are fantastic. All right. Would you guys rather take a huge pay cut for your spouse's dream job or keep your lifestyle, but they hate their work?
I would take a
pay cut.
Yeah, I would take the pay cut too.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely make coming home pleasurable.
So you would stay where you're at right now?
Yeah, I don't want to take a pay cut.
I would take the cut.
I would too. I think to see him do something that he is overly passionate. He likes his job now. Don't get me wrong. He likes it. If you had to ask him 10,
I think 15, when you don't feel valued and appreciated, it makes you rethink and be like, I'm okay taking a pay cut.
Yes. And to know what he's truly passionate about, and then to know that, we would have to move to a whole other state to do something that he's truly passionate about. But if he was truly serious about doing it, I would support him and take the cut.
Yeah, I would support him and take the cut too. And I guess because I've been in a position where my work was so much, and it did affect, like you were saying earlier, your marriage, your children, it affects everything. And so I think back at that time of, there was moments where I was like, I don't even care. I'll just take a pay cut. I need to get out.
Yeah.
And so for me, I would be, if he's miserable, it's naturally going to reflect our marriage. It's going to reflect our kids. It's going to reflect our house, everything. So I would take the pay cut.
Yeah.
It would be hard, but we could do it.
Especially to know that they're doing something that they're passionate about.
Right.
And they love.
Overall, it's going to bring more happiness.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like our jobs are pretty flexible as far as, nursing is nursing is nursing. And you can kind of move around and find something that makes you happy, but to just know that they're happy, I don't know. I think that matters a lot to me.
I agree. Yeah. Would you rather have your in-laws move in for 6 months or your best friend's family move in for a year? Best friend's family. So her husband, and the kids.
I'd totally take my in-laws.
I would too. I would totally take my in-laws too. We would be eating so
6
good.
6 months or a year. I would do either one. I think either one would be fun. Now, a whole year is a lot. Don't get me wrong.
I would do my in-laws. I love my family. I love my friends.
We love our friends' family.
I would do my in-laws. Plus, they would be feeding me. Where I feel like if my friends' families came over, then I would have to feed them.
I think you feel like that at first. I think you feel like you're having a host all the time.
Yeah.
But then after a while, it's just going to become let's do it together,
Yeah. I think if it turned into that, yeah. But I think in the beginning, with it being friends, I would feel like, I'm hosting.
Yes, you have to host. Yeah, naturally, I would think so. But even with my in-laws, I would feel like it would be
I would have to clean more and pick up more and make sure things were more in order, I feel like. But my father-in-law's a great cook. We would eat great for 6 months.
Until he realizes that 4 people is much more expensive than just one. Alright, would you rather be stuck in a 5-year season of constant change or a 5-year season of zero change? I would pick constant change.
I like change.
Constant change is hard. Change, I'm okay with. Constant change is hard because I feel like you do need to have a change to be challenged and to be either you're going to be stronger or weaker from it. But it's season of zero change, I feel like you're not being challenged. Like you're not really pushing yourself.
I agree.
I don't know. I struggle with that question because I do like change. I welcome change. I think change is great.
Do you just want to settle and be like blah?
But I think sometimes I do enjoy life when there's nothing going on, where there's no change. Sometimes I like the stillness of
Yes, I agree with that.
life.
The stillness of life, yes.
So I struggle with that question. Yes, I think if I had to do the stillness of life for 5 years, I would get bored.
Yeah.
So I probably would choose the change.
Right.
Constant
I would
change.
not want a new job every single year, a new job every 6 months. I agree with that. But the stillness of life, 5 years, yeah.
5 years is a long time for nothing to change. Okay.
That is a harder question. Because sometimes stillness and peace is good.
But I think after a few months of stillness and peace, and I guess it would depend on what's going on during the stillness. Because, y'all know I like to bounce around jobs and learn new things and try new things.
But I think that's part of our career as well. Which we'll talk more about that in 2 weeks. But I think that nursing that we're all in, I think has allowed us to be like, hey, we want to try this. We've been doing, whatever for 3 years. We're going to try this now. And that's
3 months.
But that's like the joy and wonder of the career that we're in.
I will agree with that. Yes. Yeah.
That's
a tough one.
Think. Any other questions we have?
I feel like that was a good many.
Okay.
Any other would you rathers?
No. So if you're in a season of transition, just know you're not the only one. Change is hard, but it's also what keeps us growing together.
So next week, we're talking about something that hits home for so many of us. Losing yourself. We've hit on this a few times throughout our episodes, but this episode is going to be solely dedicated to the topic. It's so hard as a wife and mom to remember who you are outside of those roles, and sometimes the hardest transition is finding your way back to you. So thanks for hanging out with us today. Just remember, marriage is never stagnant. It's always shifting, and how you shift together is what matters. So here's to love,
laughter,
and surviving the mess.
One margarita at a time.
Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and find us on social media. Don't forget to share us with your mom friends who could use a little reminder that none of us have it all together.
Marriage, mess, and margaritas. Life's a mix and it'll never beat us. Raise your glass, it's time to cheer. The wildest stories, you'll hear them here.